guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Michelle, baby, and I'm back with another video. Today I am doing a Q&A, get to know me / do my makeup, you know, something that is chilled. And I'm not doing those questions where how old are you? No, I just found some questions on the internet and I was like, okay, let me just find questions that are not the common questions that we see on Q&As, and I selected 10 from a bunch of questions, and so I'll be answering those questions while I'm doing my makeup. So get yourself a snack, get yourself a drink, and stay tuned for the video. And guys, can I just say thank you for subscribing. You guys are the bomb.com. Thank you so much. I'm now at 2,000 subscribers. I'm just waiting for Google now to tell me that you have been monetized. Mail or email, no email in sight. But anyway, I'm so happy, and I'm grateful to you guys, you know. So yeah, stay tuned for the video. Like, comment, subscribe, do the good thing, share, comment below. What would you like to know actually about me? One day I will actually ask you guys to give me questions to answer, but for now you can just comment your question in the comment section, and then I will answer whatever that you want to know about me. I will answer it. So yeah, stay tuned for the video. Okay, so the first question that I have is, what do you miss most about being in South Africa? So what I miss most about being in South Africa is obviously being with my family, because what else could I possibly miss in SA besides my family? Nothing at all. So I just miss being with my family, you know, just knowing that I've got people around me, people that I love, people that love me around me. That is something that I definitely miss about being in SA. What else do I miss? I miss Ubuntu. Yo guys, Ubuntu. Don't take Ubuntu for granted. Like, you know, people greeting you greeting them, asking ninjani, Sawubona, I man, like Ubuntu guys, because people here don't care a damn. People don't care a damn. Nobody cares how you are, nobody cares how you're doing. So Ubuntu, I miss that. So I miss my family and I miss Ubuntu. So that's what I miss about being in SA, definitely. The second question is, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received? Sure. I don't even know. I don't even know. Ever received. From whom? Best piece of advice I've ever received. Something that my mom always says is that everything happens for a reason, and I've grown to believe and to understand that indeed everything does happen for a reason, even if at that point in time or that particular time, whenever whatever that is happening, you tend to question, like, why is this happening to me, yada yada yada. But in the end, it was for a reason, because I also do believe that life happens for us and not to us. So I think that makes sense. Like, whenever you're going through the most or whatever, whatever that is happening, you know, my mom will always tell you, don't worry, everything happens for a reason. And I think that is like something that is important to know and realize. You know, there's also like this verse in the Bible, actually. I think it is somewhere in the Romans 8. It talks about how all things work out for the good of those that love God. I think it's Romans 8:28. So it says that all things work out for those that love God, and I really do believe that, because I believe that obviously things happen. Guys, my foundation I'm in China. Foundation. I tried to buy on Taobao online from Fancy, and then it just said I need a Chinese ID. But sana, we shall see. I'll see. I think there are some girls that sell foundation, so I'll have to find them and buy from them. I need a brush. So yeah, that's that verse. Now, depending on what you classify God as, for me, God is just a divine being, which means that you are God, I am God. Because also, if you are a Christian, then you must believe in the Bible when it says that the gods, or God, or Elohim, which is plural, when it says that God made men in our, like, let us make men in our image, right? And so if you are made in the image of God, it means that you have the qualities of God, which means that you are a creator, right? Because God is a creator, and so therefore you are a creator. So if God is God, you too are God, because you are made in his image. So I do believe that we create things, whether consciously or unconsciously. We create things and we bring things into existence. And so if we are doing that, of course it will work out for the good of us, because why not? So yeah, everything happens for a reason. Even if you feel like, oh my goodness, why is this happening to me? In the end, it will be for a reason. You might never know what the reason is, but there's a reason. Like, there's always a reason. So yeah, that's what I believe. What is your favorite book? I don't have a favorite book because I'm not really much of a reader anymore. I actually used to like reading back in high school, and then I don't know what happened. I should get back into reading. I used to like reading in high school, and then I just stopped. Yeah, and then I was just like, reading is a waste of time. But reading is good. I used to read also like in primary, because when I went to primary, I went to Model C school, so like an English home language school, actually, when I was in grade 6, and didn't really know English, so I quickly had to learn English. And so I learned English by making sure that I'm always reading books. Yeah, so my English is self-taught. Literally, my English is self-taught, like, because I didn't just go into like kindergarten or primary school, like just learning English from grade 1. No, I started learning English in grade 6, and it was tough. So yeah, so my favorite book, I like the Pilgrimage. You know, that's one book that taught me about omens, and you know, sometimes you're looking for something in life, but you don't realize that whatever you're looking for is right under your skin. So the Pilgrimage, I like the Pilgrimage. Another book that I like is, I read this book once. I've got a friend that loves to read. Like her whole life is reading. And her favorite, I don't know if it's still her favorite, but her favorite author at that time when she borrowed me her book was Francine Rivers. And so this book that I read by Francine Rivers called The Atonement Child, that book was really nice. I really enjoyed that book. It has a lot of lessons, you know. So yeah, I like The Pilgrimage and Atonement Child. So I would say those are my two favorite books to read. And Atonement Child, I think, is fiction. I'm not sure. Actually, even The Pilgrimage is probably fiction. I don't know. But I've definitely gotten back into reading, although I'm not reading like fiction books. I'm reading like really hardcore stuff. I'm currently reading the Egyptian Book of the Dead. I'm also reading Sacred Magic of Ancient Egypt. So yeah. So those are my books that I'm reading currently. Okay, the fourth question: what's your favorite guilty pleasure TV show? Without a doubt, Law and Order. Guys, Law and Order is nice. Like, whoever came up with the concept of Law and Order is amazing. I love it. I absolutely love Law and Order, especially the special victims units, because I just feel like the cases are not predictable. Like, although you know what it's gonna be about, because it's usually the special victims unit deals with cases of sexual injustice, right? So you know obviously what the case is gonna be about, but the way that it just plays out, it's just so intriguing. I really like it. And then I'm one person that just really likes to solve crimes. I like to solve problems. I'm a problem solver. That's why if you give me a problem, I'm going to solve it. I don't like losing. Like, I don't like to be met with a problem and I don't come up with a solution. You know, I don't like giving up. I like to solve problems. So for me, crime scene investigation and all of that, I like those type of shows. So definitely Law and Order is my go-to. Fifth question is, are you an introvert or an extrovert? And honestly, I feel like I'm neither an introvert nor an extrovert. I'm just in the middle, because I feel like my social battery is always at a 50%. And so if I go out and do whatever that I'm doing, it depletes and goes to 0. And then I get in the house, I recharge, but it always fills up to 50%. It never goes to 100. So I'm 50%. I want to go out 50% of the time, and then the other 50% I really just want to be in the house. So 50-50. The next question is asking, would you rather live in a cabin in the woods, a penthouse in the city, or a bungalow on the beach? I definitely wouldn't want to live in the city. I don't like city life. I definitely wouldn't want a penthouse in the city. That's just not me. Also wouldn't like to live in the woods. I'm scared of animals. I'm scared of snakes. I'm scared. So the woods, it's a no for me. I'm also scared of water, so I wouldn't want to live in the beach, like by the beach. It sounds nice to live by the beach, but should a disaster happen, yeah, number one. But definitely, if I had to choose between those three, it would have to be a bungalow by the beach. Definitely. Wake up in the morning, you're woken up by the sound of the waves. Like, you wake up, you go pick up some shells. That sounds like a beautiful life, to be honest. The next question says that what did you want to be as a child with growing up? So I don't know what I wanted to be when I was a child, but when I was in high school, I thought I would be like I thought I would be a biomedical physicist, because I just liked the idea of being in the lab, testing things. You know, at some point I thought I'd be like a forensics detective, because it was just something that was intriguing, right? Except we didn't have that course in South Africa, forensics detective, but I did register for biomedicine. I studied it for a year, 2 years, I think, 2 years, and then it just didn't work out. I was in that very, very expensive school in Midrand, but so it didn't work out. And then I started to be a paramedic. I absolutely loved it. It was perfect. I fit in. It was the best thing ever, until I had to go to work and see people dying. So yeah, it was a no for me. So it was so difficult. If it wasn't for the fact that people die, you know, and you're in the ambulance all the time, you don't have a life, you get home after everything that has happened, you cry because, oh my goodness, what have I just witnessed? So like, that was terrible. And so I decided to do teaching. So my parents helped me with a decision, and I ended up doing teaching, and that's how I got here. So everything happens for a reason. The next question says, what is at the top of your bucket list? At the top of my bucket list, damn. I don't know what is at the top of my bucket list. At the top of my bucket list, what do I want to do that is like adventurous? Because when I think of bucket list, I'm thinking things that are invigorating, things that are adventurous, you know. I'd say paragliding. I'd want to go paragliding. It doesn't seem as dangerous. Excuse me. It doesn't seem as dangerous as things like skydiving, bungee jumping, all of those. Although I would do those things as well, probably. But one that seems really interesting is definitely paragliding. I would definitely do that. Okay, so the next question is, what are the best qualities that you have inherited from your parents? From my dad. From my dad, I think my dad is the kind of person that likes knowledge. So he likes to know a little bit of everything about everything, and I think I'm also like that. So I would say that I inherited that from him. And then my mother, probably resilience. I would like to think that I am quite resilient, because my mother is so resilient. She doesn't give up. She is the definition of imbogoto. You know, when they talk about imbogoto is my mother. I swear to God, imbogoto is my mother. She doesn't give up. She's resilient. She's a go-getter, and I think that probably is something that I have inherited from her. Yeah, I think my mom has a lot of great qualities, but I think that one I admire the most about, because she will not ever give up. which I think it's a really, really great quality to have. And so that is what I have inherited from my parents. And then the last question I have is, what is the one thing that you wish that people talked about more? Honestly, how to manifest. I think everyone is always talking about, not everyone, most people are always talking about, oh, I want to manifest this, I manifest this, I manifest that, and I manifest that. But actually, nobody really talks about how exactly do we manifest things. And I feel like that is something that we should talk about more, because if we did talk about it, a lot of us would not be in the situations that we are in, because we would know how to get things. Because I think what we are always told is that you have to think about something, whatever. But there's more to visualization, and I think the most difficult thing about manifestation is actually having the feeling that goes with that thing. Like, you have to actually feel like you have achieved that thing, and that's something that is the most difficult to do, because it is so difficult to feel like you have achieved something and you have the feeling of how it would make you feel if you already had that thing. And so it becomes so difficult. Like, if you wanted to buy a car, like let's say you want to buy a Mercedes and you want to manifest a Mercedes, it's not only about just thinking in your mind and visualizing a Mercedes, but you need to have that feeling of, how it feels like being inside of that Mercedes. And that is so difficult, because how many of us have actually experienced the things that we are dreaming of, or the things that we want to have? Like, if you say you want to have a mansion, how many of you have been inside a mansion to actually know what it feels like to be in a mansion? And so that's the thing that is so difficult. I wish we would talk more about manifestations and how to manifest, because these are things that you really find like on the internet, sure, but we don't even talk about these things with our friends or family members. And it's sad, because if we did, honestly, we wouldn't be here. And I wish we could also talk more about how we are doomed as a nation, because we believe so much so in a government, and I think a lot of us don't realize that the government is only here to indoctrinate you, to brainwash you, to just feed you propaganda and nothing else. It's so sad when I see people that believe so much in the government. The government is not going to do anything for you, honey. It is not. You can vote from here to Congo if you want. The government is never going to do anything for you. Not as a people, not as an individual. And we should talk more about that. Like, why do we keep on putting our faith and our hope in the government? I don't get it. But anyway, it is what it is. And that's me. That's my video. Those are the 10 questions that I found on the internet that are Q&A questions. And I hope that you like this video and stay tuned for the next one. And I'll see you on the flip side. Mwah.